right, welcome back, everybody, to Two Deans and No Waiting. I'm Dean, and this is Dean. And we have a special show tonight. It's actually real good one. We have two guests with us tonight. We have our first guest here who's live in the studio with us. His name is Rick.
Nice to meet everybody.
He is a pro-America first person, but he does endorse what Trump is doing. And we also have another guest, Kaz, who's also here tonight. He's over the phone right now. And I'd like to start off first by asking Kaz a question. Get right down to it. Is Trump New World Order and it's compromised?
Yeah, I honestly believe that Trump is compromised 100%. And just to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more, we have to go back to his first presidency, where I believe that in his first presidency, he was genuine. A lot of the things he did at that time were really great. And a lot of people forget also at that time when Trump became president, there was a majority in the House and Senate of Republicans and a Republican president. It was the first time in many, many years that had happened. But as the elections got stolen and then Biden got in there, and then in the time frame between his first and second presidency, Trump was charged, if you remember, with 40 and 50 accounts of different criminal situations and charges. And in that time frame, he had to hire a lot of lawyers. And one of the persons that he went to was Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is a multi-billionaire. And this all really ties together because Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance have known each other since 2011. They've owned businesses together. And J.D. Vance was also the custodian to many of Peter Thiel's financial accounts. So J.D. Vance has actually been in the background for a long, long time. And a lot of people don't realize that. So when Trump got elected the second time, the process of the 4 years of all the lawsuits and all of those things there, Trump actually had to borrow some money from Peter Thiel to help finance his legal team. And in that process, I think is when they were able to get to Trump and then more or less compromise him to where now he's doing the work of the New World Order. I applaud Trump for a lot of the things that he's doing on the surface, which is really, really good. And that's what a lot of people are looking at, is a lot of this stuff is on the surface, like opening up the restricted files on many cases like JFK and other things like that, getting rid of the Department of Education. That was really good. That's very long overdue. But a lot of people look at that, and most of that's...
But he hasn't really opened up the JFK thing yet, because it's more hearsay right now.
Yeah, he hasn't done that. He also, you're applauding him getting rid of the Department of Education. That's fine because it's probably messed up. It looks messed up to me. But here's the problem.
Right.
What has he got for it? He's got nothing to replace it with.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right. And that's exactly what I'm saying. A lot of the Trump supporters they're being blindsided by that because a lot of that is just on the surface.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that. And people are the what I call the Trump cards. No offense to anybody, but those people are celebrating these superficial, on the surface events, and they're not really paying attention to what's going on in the background, like with Peter Thiel and the PayPal mafia, all of those people, and
it's big tech. It's just another little history repeating.
Right.
Each side, George Soros. I mean, he was pulling strings for the Democrats. I mean, this is why I'm a political. Well, of course, this is why I'm a political atheist, and I think a lot of us are. I don't trust either party. But now let me ask Rick the same question. And he answered it pretty thoroughly, and he's got somewhat proof behind what he's saying. Do you think Trump is compromised, and do you think he's New World Order?
I don't necessarily think it's New World Order. I think they're all compromised in one point or matter. I mean, they're all part of the big show, the stage of America or the world. So I think that more or less, he is a businessman and he goes about and uses a business sense to go about his matters in running America and how it should be ran. Not really how it should be ran, but
What he thinks is.
utilizing our tools and his business sense to go and get the big tech guys and bring them in, but not do it in the manner of the way the Democrats did and all the funneling and trying to get rid of all that. And I understand that. And I understand the point of not looking at the, how can I say, the big picture, but I do. I think in the background, he's playing the long game. I think he's got a big plan and just throwing out cards on the table.
I think he's got concepts of a plan.
Letting everybody,
Somebody's telling
letting everybody play, grab a card and see what's going on and be hour and moan and groan about this and that. But
Right.
I do think that
That
there's an aspect of players behind him
Mhm.
putting in the money.
Always.
That's
Always.
every president
Oh,
that has
absolutely.
ever been.
Unfortunately, right.
So
he who has the gold makes the rules.
at least it's America first on every agenda that he's going for,
Almost.
and it's about the people.
Almost, and let me.
What you got? I'm cool with
It's
that.
America first, not Israel. That's the thing. That's the thing I
Is
don't
it
like.
though?
It should be America first, but this is how they're all. I get it. It should be America
what I'm
first.
saying.
But
The cutting and everything that he wants to do.
Yeah, look,
I get it.
I'm all for getting rid of the bureaucracy. Enough of that
Absolutely.
crap.
Absolutely.
Cutting the fat, the pork barrel spending.
Okay.
I get it. But hold on. This is what, and it goes back to what you said, and even he said, this bending over backwards for Israel is getting me so sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
And he's no different than Biden when it comes to that. Although he's more, hold on.
All the presidents.
Yeah, but he's more honest. He sits there and he says what he's going to do. He's going to do. Biden, on the other hand, was worse in the fact that he would, we need peace talks. We need a ceasefire. Then behind closed doors, he's given millions more money to Netanyahu to kill innocent people, which was almost kind of worse. But at the end of the day, I just can't stand the fact that they're all compromised when it comes to Israel. And I wish he would talk more about lobbyists, special interest groups,
The real
central
oligarchs. The real oligarchs.
It's the Federal Reserve.
It's all coming. I mean, you got to groom these people that have been brainwashed by our media and bull crap for years and years and years. I mean, so you have to slowly feed these people information about the real world and how things are really happening behind the scenes. And that's what I think he does best when he throws stupid freaking comments out. He gets people talking.
He's a showman. I get it.
He's a showman.
He's a showman,
I
but
think
he could be a
He says that stuff. It's just stupid to say.
Well, look.
Me personally, I think it's all done in a code type manner for ops and things of that matter, talking to other.
Well, let me ask you guys this, Kaz.
A showman.
Kaz, you said you alluded to the fact that do you think that the first election or when he was supposed to be reelected, do you think that was stolen by the Democrats?
I sure
Absolutely.
do. I sure
You
do.
guys
We all
all
believe
believe
that.
that?
Yes, we
Absolutely.
do. Look,
Hold on. Let me ask you this then. Then why didn't the Democrats steal it this time?
They didn't
They
steal
tried.
it this time.
Yeah, they did.
Because they didn't have to.
Trump's compromised.
Because they knew Trump was compromised at this time, and they didn't have to.
That's what I just said.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Kaz, I agree with you on that.
You want to know
I
why
agree with what just Kaz said. Go ahead.
I don't agree with that at all.
I know you don't.
I don't think it was
My-
stolen
You
at all.
stand in the corner alone.
I will.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just so
You're
there's,
not gonna
there's
compromise
extreme
me.
evidence.
Grown-ups are talking.
Yeah,
But,
jeez.
I think the whole stance of in the beginning in the first election when he was going in 2020, he was like they're going to steal the election by the mail-in ballots. They're going to steal the election by the mail-in ballots.
Because he knew he was losing.
So he made it genuine. And look at all the election fraud that they did find. There was a lot, and it just didn't get put out into the forefront.
Okay,
Hold on.
Okay.
But now this time around, how do you make up 17 million votes
Right.
when he turns around
Right.
and changes the game and tells you, put your mail-in ballot in. Come on, put it in there. It was too hard for them to try to dump the system like they did the last time. And also, you got all them swing states. No, listen to me. If you actually do research, you'll see that I am true.
I agree with you.
Listen,
Where's your
and
research
all
from?
the swings, all the swings.
Here's the thing.
Not from Don.
From QAnon?
QAnon.
There's no such thing as QAnon, but
Okay, good.
there's Q and then there's anons.
Well,
But
okay, but
so
is
he
it from Q?
flipped the switch on them and they couldn't make up them ballots, but all the swing states had a lot more people at the bailing stations checking the systems
Yes.
and making sure things were
Well,
right.
Rick,
There was
hold
a
on.
lot of people.
Rick, I agree with you, Rick.
Question.
You don't have to twist my arm with that. I want to ask Dean a question. Do you think football's fixed?
yes.
Well, football's fixed, but politics isn't.
Our elections
Well, I
have
didn't
been
say
rigged
that.
for.
I said
for
that they did not steal the election.
possible that
56
that's what I
elections
said.
have been rigged for 50.
So Dino, so
He tweeted himself during the election. He tweeted out on X, or which is Truth Social, or whatever the hell it is. He tweeted out there that there's massive fraud being committed in Pennsylvania, and his own people had to tell him to shut up because he was winning Pennsylvania because he had no idea
This was when?
during the election.
This was this election or
Yes,
last election?
this one.
When are you going to understand? He does them things to put an eye on the situation, dude. He does
Yeah,
that purposely,
I think-
bro.
I think- so you're
again-
calling him an
it's
idiot
again,
savant,
It's
is what you're
his
saying.
long game. It's his long
No,
game.
Hold on.
I just want to chip in here for a second, okay?
We-
got a-
Okay, I
I'm
will.
sorry,
I
Kaz.
want to ask Kaz another
I
question. Go ahead.
I got a question here. So real quick, all right? So we're talking about voting. We're talking about stolen votes, stolen ballots, this, that, and the other. I have a question, especially here in Michigan, since everything is tabulated by a computer. You vote in Michigan, you run it through that computer, and everything's tabulated. Here's my question. How do you know that your vote gets counted just because they threw out a number? How do you actually know that your vote gets counted?
Actually, it wasn't counted, so.
Yeah, it wasn't
How
counted.
do you know? I mean, how do you know the
But
vote
I didn't
actually
count
gets counted?
Go ahead, Cass, because you do bring up a good point, because everything's going digital now, and it would be
Just because they
manipulated.
throw out numbers and they say, Trump got 80 million this time, and Biden only got, or Harris got 75 million.
Right,
Just because
right.
they're throwing out numbers, how do you know that your vote actually counts? If they're stealing the elections, then they're stealing the ballots. And everyone talks about voter ID. Voter ID isn't going to fix anything. If your ballot doesn't get counted, then how do you actually know? How do you actually know that X amount of people voted for this person and X amount of people voted for that person? Why? Because they give you a tally at the end of the day? How do you know? How do you absolutely know?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You
No,
don't.
exactly.
You don't.
Good point. Look, we know, at least some of us know, that the system is rigged and it's fixed. Okay. And that's why I don't trust the two-party system. I want to believe in Trump. I'm more in the middle. I like some things he does, some things I don't. Sometimes I feel he's compromised, sometimes he don't. But maybe that's just my personality. But I don't know. At the end of the day, though, I think we can, at least with this room here, the people in here, we know that we don't trust the government.
Right.
No, absolutely.
You know, whether it's Kaz, Rick, or even him.
No, I do not trust the government.
Either one
full
of us.
reduction of the government, I'm for it.
And that's why we're here doing this.
Yeah.
To scrutinize them,
Mhm.
to wake people up.
I want
people, see, I don't want anybody
much
to be
waste.
loyal. I don't want anybody to be loyal to any politician. Like you said, I like what you said before we went on air. You said, I asked you if you were a Trump supporter. You said, I support America
Yeah,
first.
I pro
That's
America
what I
first,
want.
man.
And that's
Yeah.
what we have to be. Constitution, Bill of Rights.
Absolutely.
It's our country
Absolutely.
before party,
Absolutely.
not party before
No,
country.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree on that.
That is,
100%.
I
Those
can't
party people are
stand
nuts.
people that are so
Absolutely.
blindsided
Yeah.
with this loyalty
Yeah.
to these bastards who
Yeah.
sell us over for
They're
anything.
sold
Right.
on the name
Absolutely.
and the name only.
Right,
you know?
right. Now,
And what it used to stand for. Well, the Democratic Party was pro-slavery.
I used to be a
Well,
Democrat. I used to be a
now.
Democrat.
Hold on now.
Well, it's
Yes,
just-
but
it's-
that
I
switched
used to be a
over.
Democrat.
The Democrats used to be the conservatives and the Republicans were the
We're
liberals.
talking
I'm
150
talking-
years ago.
yeah,
You're
I'm
talking.
so am I.
He's
Yeah,
talking before
yeah. And when
Reconstruction.
the Republican Party
And
started,
it flipped over.
You know,
And
it
that's
was
why the Republicans
founded
always,
by a black man.
that's why the Republicans constantly say, oh, we're the party of Lincoln. No, you're not.
No.
Well, some,
You know,
well,
Remember Dixie Democrat?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
gone now.
but he's right. The
Yeah.
Southern Democrats.
You don't hear that though.
Ooh. No, you
What's
don't.
that?
It's
Dixie,
amazing,
what you
isn't it?
just said.
No.
It's changed because they're most of the southern states are red state. They're
Right,
more
now,
conservative.
yeah,
Well, now
absolutely.
like it's changed
Absolutely. No.
since before Reconstruction and after.
Right.
But there was something else that I wanted to talk about was the tax tariffs on imported goods.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with Rick this time. What do you think on the tax tariffs on
I
imported
like
goods?
it.
You like it?
I do.
You don't think it screws the consumer?
In the very beginning, you might get a little slight charge, but in the long run, what it does is it's gonna renegotiate that country to come back, and they're gonna drop the cost of their goods coming back into the country, and then the tariff will go down and you'll balance it. But in the long run, the whole long game, again, the Trump long game is remanufacturing back to our country.
Okay.
Well,
Hold on.
Okay.
Bring our jobs that were
No,
lost
that's
50
cash
years
money.
ago in the
I know.
70s.
Real quick.
Like he talks about the Intel, the computer chips, and bring our farming back. Why does China owe farming in our country? They're like,
Rick,
come
I
on.
agree with
No.
with everything you said, but I think it's backwards. I think he should wait on the tax tariffs until we become sufficient enough. Because we're not
How are you
self-sufficient.
How are you
Because
gonna become
okay, hold on,
self-sufficient?
we have
If
to
you're
become
getting
self-sufficient.
screwed by all
I
these
get it, but
different
hold on,
countries
but just hear me
with
out. Just
how
hear me
they
out.
screw us
Just hear
on the
me out.
tariffs.
Just hear me out. I think like I'm talking to Dean. I want to say, hold on, Dean. It's Rick. Wait a minute. They switched. Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay, Rick.
I'm not on
okay.
the side either.
Hold on. I am and I'm not. I don't think it's the right time for tax tariffs because we're vulnerable. The consumer's going to get fucked on this.
Yep.
I really do. It's a good idea. It's a good
I
idea.
agree.
Now, wait. We have to become
I
a
agree.
manufacturer first, just like you said. And once we become a manufacturer and start producing, which I do believe he wants to do, then we can do the tax tariffs.
Okay.
If you want to do tax tariffs, tax the fuck out of China. They have the
Yeah.
majority of our products are coming from China. You want to tax Canada and Mexico? Not as much. 7%. They're our neighbors. We have to have better trade between them. That's
What
what
does
I think.
Canada have to offer us?
Well,
I'm
not
not saying they're just
What do you mean,
neighbors.
nothing? They
We
get
have
all
oil.
kinds of crap from them.
They got shitty
Bulk of
oil.
our oil comes from them, which I don't understand. We have plenty
A lot of aluminum.
of that. We get a
We get a lot of aluminum
furniture.
from Canada.
What do you mean a little bit? No,
Canada-
look it up.
Canada
gives us
Canada is a
bulk of our
freaking
oil.
wart on our ass, dude.
They are not.
They are. They are.
You got to pop
We
that
can't-
thing. I'm tired of hearing
We
about
got all kinds of.
They are.
We buy a lot of stuff from them.
No.
We have parts that come from them for our cars.
because why? Because of trade agreements from 50 years ago
No.
that bend us over
No.
backwards and screw us.
And you're
daily.
wrong. You're
No,
wrong
I'm
on
not.
that.
No,
Let me
I'm
tell
not.
you
No,
something.
I'm not.
Let me
No,
tell
I'm
you
not.
something. Trump
No,
said,
no.
"Who the hell made this deal?" Well, he did when he was in power the last time.
What deal?
The last deal with Canada. He looked at it and said, "Who made this deal? This is a terrible deal."
What deal?
With Canada, the last one.
He's talking about the trade
The
deal.
trade deal.
The
I'm
last
sorry, the
trade
trade
deal.
deal.
Okay.
The last trade
I
deal.
mean, a tariff deal or?
I don't know what it is.
I
Whatever the trade
I've
deal
never
was.
heard this. I never heard him say this.
This is Trump's own words.
Well, he's
Who made
probably
this
talking
terrible
to
deal?
Don
It was
Lemon.
him.
I don't know.
It was him.
So
No.
I'll
No,
look,
you're wrong
where
again.
is Don? I haven't even seen Don.
Because he got fired.
He got fired because he
He's a
actually
turd.
because he said that he probably got fired because he said the truth.
You know, maybe.
That's how they only get fired.
Maybe.
So, Cat,
Kaz, I want Kaz's opinion on these tariffs.
yeah, right. Okay.
Go
All
ahead,
right,
Kaz.
so I agree with Dino. We need to get the manufacturing here first before we do the tariffs because the consumer is going to pay that price. These companies are not going to take less profit. They're just not. They're not going to take less money. These owners and these board of directors, they're not going to take less money. They're not.
They're not.
And,
They'll
and
fire people first.
the consumer is going to end up paying that tariff at the end of the day. Absolutely.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, and right. And like I said, I think it's a good idea. I think if you want to do it, of course the tariffs on China because the majority of the products are coming from China. So we're kind of forced to buy that because we don't manufacture. I think if you wait, then you do it.
Let me
But I
ask you
totally
this.
agree
Let
with
me
what
ask you this
said.
on this. Can we, why is there like a blanket tariff on a country? Can't we just pick certain, like, okay, well, we're gonna tax Kia, we're gonna give them a tariff because of whatever, but we're not gonna do it to Samsung. That's two Korean companies. I just picked them out of the air.
Because
Why
all the
can't we
bad
just-
trade deals?
Well-
are-
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why can't we cherry pick?
Well,
that- maybe this is the whole.
Maybe that would be better.
Maybe this is the whole goal.
Here's-
Didn't he say something about the reciprocal tax
Yeah.
that's coming up, with the reciprocal tariffs
Yeah,
that are
he-
coming,
well,
and
he
things
did.
like that?
But
Yeah,
I
so,
mean, unfortunately, Kaz is not in power.
you know, so I
That's
Here's
why
the
I'm
interesting
trying to ask.
understand that, you know, the initial part of where you're gonna, but you gotta start somewhere with getting our country out of debt and more money generated. All right, generate some more cash with the incoming, because we're a huge consumer to a lot of these countries and things like
That's
that.
We
true.
want to
And then, you know, so you gotta start there, and then he's already got what, the chip deal going on, where they're already broke ground and things like that with manufacturing, so
you talk
to balance it out, it's good, it's bad, I mean, it's,
you talk about
So
again,
look at
the
it-
long game.
you talk
So
about
look at
debt.
it
So
this
you
way,
thrust
though.
on something, and I want to
So-
elaborate on it. He should
So here's
talk
the
about
point.
more about the Federal Reserves and the central bank.
It's
You
coming,
talk about debt.
it's
Okay,
coming.
now if he changes that,
No, he's
then I,
not,
oh, no, I'm,
he's
He's
not,
not gonna touch
I,
that.
dude,
I
I
agree with
think,
you on that.
I think
He
he's
touch
gonna,
that.
I think he's
Hold
gonna
on.
hammer it.
okay, so he is gonna change it.
Oh, I think
Okay,
he's gonna hammer it.
okay, that's
dude.
what I'm saying. Well, hold on, basta.
So hang on.
Hold on,
I think he's
Kaz,
gonna stop all the
Kaz.
fraud.
Let me finish before you
right.
say something. I want him to expose the central bank. That's what I want him to do. You talk about debt. The reason why we have debt is because the printing, the fractional banking. Can you believe that banks give out money they don't have?
You did
That's a
see that,
problem.
you did see that he put in the paperwork to withdraw from the Federal Reserve System.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
We're
Now,
right on
I
it.
heard rumors on InfoWars, and they're pro-Trump people
Yeah.
right now.
He,
And before you say anything,
Scott,
I
him and
heard-
Scott Senate talked about
Okay,
it, said that,
I heard
he
that
put in
he-
the paperwork for
Okay,
it.
I heard he wants to
Give me a
national.
second.
I believe you that you
Okay,
saw it, but I believe you.
I can
It's-
send it
it's
to
on
you guys
video.
or whatever.
It's on video. You can
It's
see it.
it's an article
That's
from
fine.
the White House government.
I heard he wants to nationalize the Federal Reserves. That's a rumor. I don't know.
I never heard that one. Me personally, I
Yeah.
think he's gonna take it down and
It ca-
the
it-
tariffs
but this is
and
the
have
thing. But it's
a major purchase tax.
Okay,
of
it's
some sort.
gonna take an act of Congress for that to happen because Congress was
Why?
the one that started the Federal Reserves.
It doesn't take an
Well,
act.
1913
He's executive branch, bro.
Executive
Yeah, but
orders,
you can't override.
it can't override. There has to be
You can't do that.
an executive
Me
order.
personally, I think the Federal Reserve
Look.
has already been in a bankruptcy type of
Well, they
situation
bankrupt the whole country,
Because-
of course.
because it was put back into the Treasury in his last presidency. And then he files the paperwork for it to withdraw from the Federal Reserve System. So he's laying the foundation
It's a
for not being the Federal Reserve.
it's the private banking institution. It's
Yeah,
not even a
he's
part of the
taking, yeah,
government.
yeah,
It's the
exactly. He's
Rothschild.
taking us
It's
out
the
of it, so we
Rothschild.
don't have
But
it.
this is the thing. It's the Rothschild money, and the Rothschild money created the Zionist state of Israel. So is he really going to bite the hand that might even feed him?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think he's gonna do anything.
But I'd like that, Kaz, I'd like you to answer on that. What do you think about him exposing the Fed? This is a rhetorical question.
So I want to go back to the tariffs. I have two comments about that, and then I'll go back to the Fed. So the one thing I want to say is that, all right, so going on the tariffs against Canada, there's been a lot of videos put up about that, and a lot of people are saying, and myself included, is that the consumer or the citizens are going to pay that tariff at the end of the day. Okay, so this tariff that we're doing against Canada is 25%, which is really large. So 25% additional on all the products in Canada, and the citizens are going to pay that. Okay, when those people start running out of money, that is when they're going to push the issue to eliminate the tariffs. And the way they would eliminate the tariffs is by making Canada the 51st state. If
They're already
Canada
perfect.
becomes the 51st state, there would be no more tariffs.
Right.
And a lot of people forget about that. A
Can
lot
I
of people
add-
forget that that would eliminate those tariffs.
Yeah, you're totally correct
No.
on that.
Okay,
You're
so
totally. Can I add something?
Right.
hold on, real quick. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Fine.
So do you agree with that? Do
No,
you
I
agree
don't.
with that taking
I've
over-
never agreed with Canada becoming the 51st state.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't like the tariffs against Canada at all. I don't agree with it.
Okay, what I don't agree with is taking over another country, because if you're anti-New World Order, that's textbook New World Order 101. You take over another country, you get rid of its sovereignty.
Right.
I'm all about protecting the sovereignty of all nations, including ours. That's why we have borders, or we had borders. So the people that are for the borders should be maybe against that in a way. But I get what you're saying. It's kind of a catch-22, right? You get rid of the tariffs.
It is.
You make them a part of our country, which I don't like. I want Canada to be Canada. You have people coming over our borders. That's getting rid of our sovereignty. It's almost kind of the same thing. So I'm kind of against it.
Not only that, we're trying to get
So-
rid of Mexicans and Canadians for apparently for being illegal immigrants. Now they'll all be over here.
Well, we're gonna start with getting rid of you.
So the
So let me finish.
The Greeks
Let
telling
me
me.
finish real quick on
Hoppa!
Rick's
Yes,
comment
so the
about
articles
Rick's
of
comment about the Federal Reserve. Rick commented about Trump getting rid of the Federal Reserve. Okay,
I was going to ask the
I find it
question about.
interesting because Elon Musk just announced that he wants to put the U.S. Treasury on blockchain. He wants to go full digital income
Yeah,
on the Treasury. So
Mhm.
if you go full digital on the Treasury, then you wouldn't need a Federal Reserve. So eliminating the Federal Reserve at that point in time would do nothing, because it wouldn't be involved anyway, because everything's digital and everything's controlled.
well, Bitcoin,
So
crypto,
right,
that's all blockchain.
Kaz.
So I got a mixed message.
right.
talk to Kaz real quick. Kaz, so
Yes, sir.
this goes back to your election. I also heard something along the lines of blockchain election.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That would be
Yeah.
interesting.
So
I also heard though too,
Right.
part of like this new technology that is coming into our country with the manufacturing
AI.
is the part of the AI system is the blockchain technology, of course.
Wow.
But the phone systems that they're going to try to produce here get from manufacturing into our country. That's out of China, out of Taiwan, here to America. Money for our country.
creates jobs.
We will be able to do all of our banking, all of our voting, everything on a blockchain, quantum financial type system on our phone. And it'll be vibrational.
I
That's a
Now,
part of the algorithm.
yes, it'll
That's
pick up on your
funny.
vibration, and that's how your phone will open up.
that
See, that
is
is-
scary.
That is
Yeah,
scary.
it is.
You know,
what?
that's what I heard. I heard.
And that goes back to the point of what I made. You know, how
He's saying
Go,
something.
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Kaz, go ahead. We
no,
can't hear
you're
you.
fine. It goes back to the point of what I made. How do you know your vote gets counted?
Right.
You know,
Right.
how do you know? How do you really know?
Well, that's fine for the voting, but the other stuff, I don't like that. I don't want them to be able to take my money or look at it or anything.
But,
No,
but they
it's
can
nothing
kind of
like
do
that.
that now.
I don't
They
think-
can
yeah,
seize your
yeah,
bank
I'm just
account
saying.
right now.
I'm just saying,
and
I don't like it.
you know
I
what?
don't like that either.
I have mixed feelings about that, because you know we talk about crypto on here, and I'm pro crypto, and it is a
Well,
part of the blockchain.
Crypto is going to be part of the blockchain.
Yeah,
and I think
it
it's
is.
going to have
Already is.
a gold backing to it with
Well, they
you
talk,
know,
and
I
I've
mean,
talked about. If you watched
there's
our shows,
a lot. I've seen bits and pieces.
we've
of
talked
them,
about
guys.
how they're proposing to pass a law basically to have the dollar backed by crypto, by Bitcoin.
Yeah, by Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Or make it a reserve,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
make it part of the
Yeah.
reserve. So there's a lot of things I'm hearing, and I, like I said, I'm in the middle. Some things I'm
So,
okay, and other things
I got a question. This is for all of us.
Yeah.
If it does come down to a crypto of some sort like that, will we have like a U.S. reserve banking system like we used to have, a United States banking system? And it's just US banks and it's not foreign banking?
Or is it one world, which is something that they want?
No,
Yeah.
it's scary.
Well, the world
Well,
thing.
Well, Kaz is with me on that. They want that one world system,
Now,
right?
of course they do.
This,
New world order.
this,
They want
is,
that.
this is a
Absolutely.
one step closer towards that, right, Kaz?
No, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's tricky here, and this is, I mean, the cabal, they know what they're doing. Okay, the network, they know what they're doing. He's laughing. Did I say something? I said the cabal.
I know. It's just
I told you to keep your hands out of your pocket. We have guests.
Let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. So, Elon Musk, who is not an American, what is he? Is
He's
he
South
African.
South
Okay,
Africa.
South African. Is he even a naturalized citizen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
He might even
All right.
be an alien. I don't know.
Was it an alien?
Yeah,
That
he
happens.
wears a mask.
Anyway, he is now allowed to fire all these inspector generals. Are you okay with that?
I'm not okay with that.
Got rid of
What's
them.
that?
I'm not okay with that. And a lot of people, I think, are missing a
I'm not okay
really,
with that
really big part of that.
Well,
So-
where did I thought Trump signed the order and told them to go away. Where did that come with Elon?
Oh no, Elon's going around doing the same thing. He's firing certain general
Inspector
inspectors.
General?
Well, they're together. It's not
Is it part of the blanket EO that Trump signed?
probably. But here's the thing on
So
that.
there's two
Well,
things.
wait a second.
All right.
Now, I don't like this because Elon Musk fired, and Trump, they fired 5 general inspectors, inspector generals, whatever they're called, that were looking into Elon Musk's businesses with his SpaceX.
Yes, yes.
What's that other one he's got? Neuro something?
Neuroscience.
Neuralink.
Yeah,
Neuralink.
well, he's the one that wants to put the computer chip in your brain.
Right. So
Transhumanism.
now he with all his dealings with the United States government, he makes $8 million a day from the government, just with his contracts that he has with the United States. And he just expelled all the inspectors that were supposed to be there to keep him on the,
It's convenient,
right.
what you're saying. Kind of
Here's
like
the
how
problem with Elon Musk. Okay. And this is critical. Not that it means a whole lot, but just hear it out. Okay. Elon Musk is part of Trump's cabinet.
Yep.
And he is a non-elected person. He is non-elected. So he has sworn no oath to the U.S.
Right.
Constitution.
He was a government special assistant is his
Yep. And he has no
special
oath.
assistant employee.
Right.
He can only
Yep.
work 120 days or 107 days or
Well, I need
something like
that
that
job.
in a year,
Yeah.
being a special assistant employee. That's why
And-
you're getting all this rammed down your throat right from the
He
beginning.
has no
Now, me
oath to the
personally,
Constitution.
I think what was that,
Nope.
Kaz?
He has no oath to the Constitution.
Right.
but which politician does?
What do you mean?
So-
Which
I'm
politician has an
saying-
oath to the Constitution?
Right.
Did Dick Cheney?
Trump does. Yeah.
Dick
he's supposed
Cheney?
to.
Oh,
Yes.
right. Sure, he had an oath to the he had an oath to his corporation too. You
Right.
talk about Elon Musk. The Bush Cheney crime syndicate did the same thing.
I
in Iraq.
agree. Well, I'm
They
not
got
disagreeing
all
with
the-
you on
I'm
that.
just saying, it's just another little history repeating.
Well, then we need to stop it.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Okay. Absolutely. Give me some on that.
Yeah. Don't ever touch me again because I seen where that hand was.
I'll kill you.
But I don't know what those balloons were. But
I don't either.
But it was kind of gay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Did you see the fucking balloons? Maybe Elon Musk did something to AI.
A little while ago, there was a big thumbs up on the screen. I don't know what happened.
What's that? Kaz, I didn't hear you.
There was a big thumbs up on the screen. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the New World Order listening to us.
It's either that.
Maybe.
It's either that, or one of Tony's kids took over the video.
It could be.
So, nevertheless, I think we've got some great topics here.
Absolutely.
Definitely, we're going. Great. Some another questions I want to ask. We asked about the tax tariffs on the imported goods. We talk about AI. We're talking about,
Crypto,
of course,
all that stuff.
all that crypto.
Oh, okay.
it's-
Let's talk about the Gaza Strip. How about that?
You just
okay with
fucking
that?
that's what I wanted to say, but you
Once
know
again,
what?
once
I'm
again,
not touching you with that hand.
you're doing it.
Okay.
You're doing it.
I've smelled.
Yeah, but that's what I wanted to talk about, and you took the words right out of my mouth. I'll go with Rick. So what do you think about
Yeah, what do you
getting
think?
rid of like 2 million people and sending them to
that
Dearborn?
one's that I don't know, man. That one there, that's a tough cookie to
There you
swallow.
go. See, I'm not.
That's a tough cookie to swallow.
Because you know,
I don't understand how
I agree with you, Rick.
you want
I
to
agree with
close our
you.
borders, but turn around and do that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't
I agree with
get,
you.
you know, but
100%.
again,
Thank you. That
you have to look at the
100%.
aspect of
100%.
the long game
Well,
behind the
yeah.
scenes of what have them other countries done to that area for as long as they have to them people, where screw you is what Trump is telling them. You're going to take these people because you've done so much damage to them,
But then-
their families. Hold on. For as long as you have, and Israel, you're going to pay for it. That's what he's telling Netanyahu. When he pulled his chair out for him, basically he was like, "You're my bitch." That's what I
don't-
see.
Is
That's
it
what I
is
see.
it the other way around?
No,
Well, hold on, because
no, I do not
hold
see
on.
it that
Okay,
way.
now let me.
But-
This is my forte, is the foreign policy here, and you know a lot about Zionism because you've sent me a lot of good videos in the past. The Kagans
Uh-huh.
and where they're from.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Eastern. Hold on. The
Bad.
Eastern European Jews that have now taken over that region.
All right, let's
Kicked out. Hold on.
talk
Let me.
about this now. Not
That-
crap that happened.
Well, I'm just talking about. It's talking about this is history, okay? In order to know what's going on now, you got to know what's happened in the past, okay?
But
And that's what I'm saying is that they have every right to stay there, and you're right.
Who?
For the
Palestinians,
Palestinians, they have every right to stay there. And for you bring a great point where for the last 10 years they've been coming over our border. You know, they've been bringing them over with George Soros money. Okay, and they're force feeding us people. Now we're doing the same thing to another country. I get it. It's hypocrisy.
Cass, did you want to say something?
I just agree with Rick 100%. I mean, Rick is spot on. And the comparison that I make to is to Hitler. I mean, look how many people that Hitler moved around out of Europe, and America was all against it. You know, stop moving those people, stop invading countries. What are we doing now? We're doing the exact same thing. And Rick he's 100% on the money on this. You just can't take these people and just up and move them around and be like, hey, you know, we're going to take this land. We're going to give it to them. We're going to take it from you. Rick's right. He's 100%.
Yeah, I agree on that too.
We all agree on that.
I understand what he's trying to say. You know, it's a dilapidated area. They need to be put in safety and things like. I get all that, man. But why can't we just build a tent city for them down the road?
Fix it up and move
Fix
back
it
in.
up.
Yeah.
You know, let it go.
Well, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
That'd be fine.
something. I mean, try not to. That part, I have a little bit of a hard time with.
Good.
Can I say something? Okay. After World War II, the Marshall Plan built Europe. We didn't take all the Europeans and move them to Africa just
Right.
to rebuild Europe.
Right.
So why the hell are we doing this to the Palestinians?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Right.
bullshit.
Right.
That's hypocrisy.
Right.
That region.
Please agree with me on that, because that
Yes, we do.
was spot on.
So Trump was
It's
saying
100%.
press conference with Netanyahu, which I will get to later. He was saying that why would these people want to stay there? It's been nothing but death and destruction for them. Well, that place has been an open air prison since 48,
1948.
right? That's been an open air prison. The Israelis run it. They have checkpoints all over the place. Why are the Israelis over there? Why not just leave them alone? If that's their land, then leave them alone.
It comes in where Dean said.
That's what I'm saying. This is
It's
horrible.
true.
This is crazy.
Zionism.
All
Going
this is
in
crazy.
there, pilfering them people, taking their kids, their wives, just
And now
ridiculous.
the evangelical Christians, of course, are all for this because they want the second coming of Jesus.
My name is Jerry Falwell, and that's right. I want you to.
That's the
my
part.
Bible, or a 20-foot tall Jesus will
That-
stomp you to death.
That part I have a hard time.
I know.
with, too.
I don't get
With
it.
the religious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It's
And
like
I hate the dual citizenship
yes.
with
Right.
in
oh yeah, that's
inside,
crazy.
you
That's
know.
insane too.
That should not be.
Mike
If you know.
Mike Huckabee was my pick for asshole of the week.
Oh yeah.
God.
There's a good reason.
Last
The
year,
guy is so pro-Israel. It just makes me sick to my stomach. He's on this commercial now where they want you to give money to people from
I
Israel.
see it every morning when I
Okay,
get up.
but
and go to
wait a
work.
minute. But what about the people in North Carolina?
I watch Gutfeld in the morning. That guy cracks me
What
up.
about-
He cracks me up.
What about the people in North Carolina? Don't they need help?
Yeah.
The people in California.
See,
Mhm.
yeah.
But then we're going to help.
I get
And
it.
you know, they're all paid off. They're all compromised.
And
I like to see his portfolio too.
and me personally, I think a lot of that ties into the religious church thing and money laundering and
Oh,
Okay, okay.
all that bull crap.
So-
that is what the whole pro-Israel Jesus sect comes.
So-
That's my personal.
So Trump has
opinion
all-
on that. Of money
Trump has
laundering.
the support of all those evangelicals.
He does.
And well, and he's doing what they want.
Yeah, he has the support because he wants the support of the religious people, but them people are blindsided
Of
to
course they
what
are, 'cause-
is actually going on.
because
over
they
there,
think that
you know?
those Jews are from the bloodline of Abraham. They're not
They're
from
not.
the bloodline.
No, we
They're,
know that.
No.
they're from the bloodline of Attila Raham.
Ashkenazis and-
They're Eastern European.
Canaanites.
Yeah, they're the
Canaanites.
Canaanites. It's actually, they're-
Khazarian Canaanites.
yes, very true. And that they're from Ukraine.
All
That's
right.
their homeland.
So, Kaz, what do you think about the religious right? And
Yeah,
Trump?
what kind of surprised me, it's trying to stay on the same terms as what we're talking about. In this last week, Donald Trump created a new cabinet of sorts. He created the religious freedom cabinet of sorts,
Really?
and I found that very interesting, especially with how hard he's pushing with the Israelis and Israeli rights, who generally has a contrast with Christians. So for Donald Trump to create this religious freedom department of sorts in the White House, while he's so gung ho with Israel and all that,
Right.
that
I'm
kind
sure
of
it helps
to
them
me, it
out.
seems like a conflict of interest.
Right. I agree.
You know,
Again, playing both sides of the fence. That's what he's
Yes.
doing. And
that's
like,
what politicians do.
they have to, and it's such a hard.
But this is the thing. This is where the Christians have been totally misled. That the Zionists do not love Jesus.
No.
The Antichrist are the Zionists.
Mhm.
They don't get it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know who's pushing a lot of this, a lot of the agendas that we're talking about, the real far left extreme, the transgenderism in the schools, and who controlled communism? Who are the Bolsheviks?
Transgenders?
No, but what I'm saying, the Bolsheviks, it goes back to who were they? A lot of them were Jews.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Jews.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. But they were workers too. I mean, that was their biggest thing.
But what
was
I'm saying
Workers
is,
Unite,
a
that kind of
lot
stuff.
of people think that the New World Order, and this is a lot of people think that the New World Order is the Jew World Order.
Well,
A lot of it is catering
Be
to
part of it.
the Zionists.
Yeah.
you know?
I
So,
agree
mean,
with that.
yeah, I know you do. You've said, and I know Kaz too, and
I do, yeah.
I do
Dean
to a
is
point.
becoming more
I do to a point.
aware because we talked
Yeah.
about October 7th and how that
Yes.
was a stand down,
yes.
total stand down.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You
Oh,
let that
don't-
happen to justify the killing of what they're doing today.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
No.
so what do we got here?
I agree. I
Um,
agree.
I get the asshole.
Well, yeah, it's what we usually do is every other week we have our edition of Asshole of the Week. And if you'd like to go first,
I'll go first,
who's your first pick of Asshole of the Week? Already
My asshole of the week this week would be Benjamin Netanyahu. After him and Trump got done with their ball licking at each other, he stood there and smiled while Trump said, "Well, let's get rid of this rubble. Let's get rid of everybody in the Gaza Strip, and let's make a nice casinos and have a nice bleak area and just to have a wonderful place for people. And no, we don't want the Palestinians to come back because, well, they'll just be reminded of all the death and destruction that they've been going through for all these years. Now he has no place to put them. He's putting pressure on Jordan, Syria, and whoever else is, or Egypt, I believe, is another one, to take the Palestinians, which they don't want, and the Palestinians, they don't want to go there. This is just crazy to me. The whole thing is nuts. Let's make a Disneyland for other people. So basically, he wants to build another Dubai, for the rich people over there.
Of course.
That's what he
It's
wants.
all for the rich.
It's just insane to me. And Netanyahu sat there and smiled like a giddy little schoolgirl, all happy and everything because the Palestinian problem will be gone. That's why I call my asshole of the
Yep.
week.
He's a big asshole.
He really
He's a
is.
preparation agent.
There's a lot of other things he's done that is just pure evil. But I'm just talking about that.
For years.
Yes, it's horrible.
This
He's
is
a war criminal.
This is why we do podcasts.
Yes.
So the nobodies like us
Can say something.
can say something. Yes.
Right.
My pick for asshole of the week is a whole county.
Oh.
Duncombe County, California. Oh yeah, it's a blue ball state.
Yeah.
Hence why all the liberals are leaving, because the authoritarianism there has become so nauseating. Can you believe in this county they're issuing tickets to disaster victims that have lost
Oh, yeah.
everything in
I
these
heard that.
fires?
Yes.
Unreal.
I heard that.
Buncombe
Yeah,
County.
yeah.
Can you hear me out
What's
there?
the tickets for?
I christened the Butthole County. Right. Buncombe County is giving tickets to people that can't move their cars.
Right. Yep.
They're obstructing traffic.
That's insane.
They don't have any roads. If you look up the video, it looks demilitarized.
Right.
The only thing that they're missing is zombies and cut lunch.
Right.
It looks like something off The Walking Dead. Unfucking real that they're giving tickets to disaster victims that lost everything in these fires. You know who should get the ticket? The governor and the mayor of that county should get a ticket for not having enough fucking water to put out the fire. Yes, that's the problem. Buncombe County, I christened the Butthole County, and you're my pick for assholes of the week.
All right. Nice. Okay.
Unbelievable. And that's true.
All right.
That was
Please,
great.
people, if the
Right.
two people out there are listening today,
The two people.
my cousin, your agent,
Yeah. My agent.
look it up. Buncombe County.
Was there any? Thanks for that, Dean. That was really good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Is there any topics that you'd like to discuss, Kaz, or you, Rick, that we did not cover, or,
Right.
or elaborate on something we did?
No, I think it was a great opportunity to get our great minds together and just come together as a community and just kind of share knowledge. I love it. Sounds good.
Right.
Dave, say more next time.
And we hope more people are like, we can wake more people up to the fraud.
Yeah,
That it's a show.
it really is.
And
Yeah,
and
just
and
like
we
the
all
NFL,
know here it's a
Gladiators.
show.
The Gladiators.
Exactly. It's like WWF wrestling. Oh yeah, brother. It's like the Macho Man versus Randy Savage. Don't vote for Republicans or Democrats because they're all phony baloney, man. Oh yeah, I had to get that.
All right, well, I'm gonna let's thank Kaz and we thank Rick for
Thank
coming
you guys
today.
for
Yeah,
coming.
It was
Thank
really
you guys.
nice to meet you, Kaz.
It's a milestone. It might be the last time we
And I
get
hope
any
to see
guests.
you. We hope to see you guys again.
Kaz, talk
All
to
right,
you.
brother. Yeah.
Keep me informed. Keep me
Yes, sir.
informed. Brother. So thank you, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 and 2.
Awesome,
All right.
brother.
Go on.
Thanks.
All right.